Um, okay. All right, guys. So welcome to the FitBanker uh, free webinar on the next challenge that's beginning. Today's webinar, what we really want to cover is what I say is the 5 most effective habits of really successful transformers. So call them transformers or fit bankers because they're people that bank on their fitness and they're people that have caused amazing fitness. And what I'm sharing is not a theoretical stuff. It's really experientially what are the habits that people are doing every day? What are the weekly mannerisms that they incorporate into their routine that has them be in action when left to their own accord, that has them cause results like the way they're causing? I mean, we had yesterday's completion dinner. We had Jag Kumari who comes and she signs up. She says, if I lose 5 kilos in 90 days, I'll be happy. And she put that on her questionnaire. When you sign up, you get a questionnaire to articulate your goals and for us to understand a bit about you and your body type and meal requirements so we can create meal plan ideas and training programs and so on. And she had a goal of 5 kilos. By day 90, she lost 12.4. Her husband had a goal of about 6 or 8 kilos and he lost 13.6 kilos. So, our minds are designed to be comfortable and operate within a reasonable threshold, but they cause some amazing results. So let's begin to unravel new you and explain how the FitBanker challenge works. To set context, I really want this wake-up call for all of us, which is quote by Dalai Lama. When asked what surprised him most about humanity, he answered man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money, and then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And I experienced this firsthand, as Kira, you're saying that you know me from pre-Fit Banker, where my understanding of success was being vice president at JP Morgan, my title, my so on, and I was this fat banker. And I thought that was success. I thought that's what people wanted to be. That's what people emulated to be to it. And I realized I was living this life which was pointless, and it was depressing, literally depressing. That's what I do every day, and it wasn't boring. I didn't hate my job. I think the last few months of what I was doing became so monotonous, and I just thought this really isn't what I want etched on my tombstone. This really isn't what, as a kid, I saw myself doing. But I didn't have the confidence to do anything else. And transforming my body, transforming my health, has given me the confidence to take on a whole host of other things, entrepreneurially and in all walks of life, including the leadership summit that we're creating uh, for Mount Kilimanjaro later this year. And recently I was watching a video by Ariana Huffington, and she talks of the 3 pillars of success, and that as a world, we've always focused on success is about power and money. But power and money is like a 2-legged stool. At some point, it's going to topple over. You need a third leg for the stool, and the third leg is called the 3 Ws, which is well-being, wisdom, and wonder. And she shares how, we're talking about wonder and well-being. This gentleman friend of hers came over to the place for dinner, and her mum, who was always in wonder and very placed so much priority on well-being and health, asked this person, how's your business doing? How are you doing? And he goes, we're doing really well. We're growing so much, brilliant capital investment, and we're booming. And she looked at him, and he's not looking well. And she says, well, your business may be doing well, but the greatest capital investment you have in your business is you, and you're not looking well. And indeed, a couple of days later, he ended up having to go in for angiography. And it really is an awakening how much this world's focus is on power and money, and we neglect well-being. And so she's created this whole thing called the sleep revolution, and her focus is on that. And I really aligned with that, and something that we say that we're nothing with the other 2 pillars if we don't have well-being sorted. So that said, let me very quickly, those of you that would be listening in on the recording or on catch up, very quickly about my journey from Fat Banker to Fit Banker. So as mentioned, I used to work in the city of London for JP Morgan. I was vice president, used to travel quite a lot, jet setting. That's not actually my photo, but I wasn't too far from that. And below right, we used to have great socials. We used to have loads of parties, loads of going out, loads of dinners and lunches and wine accompanied with it, and a lot at company expense or within what we could very easily afford. It was a great lifestyle, I thought, but it was one that had a very detrimental effect on me and my body. And so what turned out was this guy, 108 kilos, 30 something percent body fat, and absolutely zero awareness of what my weight should be or what my fat percentage should be. I didn't know there was such a thing as fat percentage. My awareness in the area of health was close to negligible. I knew very little about what macros were. I knew very little about what calories were. I just thought that well being was simple as eat what you want and make sure you burn it off, right? And exercise. So I just knew there's a word called exercise, and you go to the gym and your body will respond to whatever you eat. One of the biggest myths out there that is exercise more and eat less, which is one of the things that causes makes most people struggle to lose weight and creates a fad experience, very short term, weight loss or positive impact to the health, which turns around, goes back up in a very short while. So while I was there in our banking career, this is a picture from 2013. Living the life of what we could do and afford. We went up to Fringe Festival in Edinburgh. It was my wife's birthday. We were 9 months married, and icing on the cake was we were 3 months pregnant and we were expecting our first baby. And it was absolutely heaven. The future we were living into was awesome. I was beautiful wife. She was starting a new career. I was, newly married. We're 3 months into our pregnancy, and VP at JP Morgan. Everything was great. And while we were there, everything took a 180-degree turnaround as we began the onset of a miscarriage. And we lost our baby. And immediately in that moment, it pierces you a pain like you can't experience, where everything that you hoped for, that future you were looking out to, suddenly that picture, the image, the vision you've had is all gone. It's collapsed, disappeared. It's non-existent because the future, the who you were creating this for, isn't showing up now. And Ambi is heartbroken, and I'm helpless in not being able to support her. I'm heartbroken, and we go into questioning ourselves. Why us? What have we done wrong? Is something wrong with us? And the next day, to add to that stress and pain, on our way back, I ended up in A&E. I had these heart palpitations, and I thought to myself, you know what, Ambika, it's all right. I'll be good. I'll just do some deep breathing, and I'll drink some water, and I'll rest, and I should be okay. And she immediately flipped. She goes, "There's no way I'm waking up tomorrow having lost another one." And it really, really got me in that moment that when we move from a relationship or from one person into two, or even before we're in a relationship, there are many other people around us that bank on our fitness. Hence, I play on the word fit banker, right? There's my parents have a dependency on me. My wife has a dependency. My kids to be have a dependency. My employers have a dependency on me. And when you really get that they bank on me showing up, I need to be fit. They bank on our fitness. And I never got it till that day, till Ambi screamed at me and said that. And so I went reluctantly into the hospital and called an ambulance. I went into A&E, and I had my blood test taken. I had various things attached to me. You can see the straps there on my legs as well. This whole ECG, a whole bunch of patches attached all over my chest and body and limbs to check various things. And after that day, thankfully, nothing serious was discovered. And the following day and weeks after, I had to go in for multiple checks and reviews and be on certain medication. And I just got very, very, very clear for myself two things. One, I really didn't want to live a life like that, dependent on the medical system, having to always go in, escaping my duties in life and telling people, I'm sorry, I've got to go in for ABC. And the second thing was that I could do something about all this. Like I could literally draw a line under this nonsense and say, Ronak, wake the F up. Like you can own this. And it was the birth of me starting to research and study and learn and trial. I said, I'm going to trial everything, and we're going to learn through trial and error. So I tried loads of diets. I tried the 5-2 diet. I tried, many years ago, I'd done the GM diet. I tried calorie suppression. I tried eating less. I tried everything. And there was a lot of things that didn't work and a few things that started working. So I kept sticking with what was working and dropping what didn't work. I tried exercise while I was overweight, and I started causing injury in my shins and legs and joints. you can see I started capturing my journey because uh, I know I was going to cause something and I had no way out. And by sharing it out there, it was a statement to my community and my world, which was, you guys are going to hold me accountable, whether I've asked you or not, whether you've agreed or not. And by posting every day, everyone saw me changing. And the more they saw and liked on Facebook, I understood how my identity was driven. I was driven by, yes, I am encouraged when people say, well done, Ronnie, and when they like my photo and when my photos are moved. And if you get to understand how your identity works, you get to cause a shift. So I went from 108 down to 75.9 was the lightest I went to. So I'd lost about 70 pounds, which was absolutely phenomenal. And while I was going through that program, through my own transformation, I one day on Facebook saw this online challenge. So I signed up to this program, and that was when I was only at 86 at well, 2 Januaries ago. And in 90 days, what turned out was that guy. And I was blown away that underneath my blubber, there was a six pack. And I say this to everyone, we all have a six pack, we've just sugar coated it. And knowing that, I was able to transform this. We focus on body types. I'll explain what we use on body types, but we have various body types according to the science of Ayurveda, which is ancient Eastern philosophy where yoga comes from, and the science of bodybuilding. And knowing your body type, there are foods that just don't work for you. So me and Ambika have different body types. We both go out and eat a pizza, and tomorrow morning she looks the same. She might even be 300 grams lighter in weight in the morning. Whereas the following morning, I eat that same pizza and I've put on half a kilo. And it was like an unfair world to me. In that scenario, I'm a victim to the world. I have the wrong body. But when I choose my body, I know what works for it. And we coach you on this. So I went from, at the start, 30 something percent, and I came down to 5.9% body fat, which was absolutely epic. And that was the birth of FitBanker, because after that transformation, I had a lot of people reach out to me. What did you do? What did you eat? How did you do this? Can you help me? And they kept asking me repeat questions. And I would actually tell them everything. Do this, do this, do that. And then the same people will come back in 2 weeks to say, what do I eat? And I'm like, scroll up and see my messages to you. And I realized that it's not the information, because you can Google a lot of stuff, but it's a support structure. It's a community. It's about creating a way that this is accountable for them. And it's a way that becomes really accountable emotionally and psychologically, so there's something at stake. And so we created a number. I discovered what was it I went through that had me stick to it for 90 days and beyond. And then I committed to 90 days of doing it with other people. And my face was unrecognizable to the previous guy, right? Like literally I was getting these comments that I was giving the people yesterday. I can't believe it. Like, I looked like in my 40s and down to like I'm in my 20s. So having created the program, we're now on our 13th challenge, or 13th or 14th challenge. We started the first one in June 2015. And this is a look at some of what's possible. This is a doctor in the United States. She signed up, and you'd think doctors would know what they know, but you can just see the shape change in her physique. She's got a very thin, slim line now, 9.1 kilos lost. This is Andrew Walker. I share this because this is his one challenge. He lost 20 pounds, but he's gone on to lose another 10 pounds. So he's at about 170 pounds. He's lost a total of 30 pounds, which is just phenomenal. Alyssa's somebody, both Andrew and Ellie are people that had a passion for and wanted to get into acting, into theater, into drama. And both of them, as a byproduct of their transformation and a boost in their confidence, have gone back into this hobby. And both of them are now, back into acting. So Andrew's in Priscilla, the musical, and Ellie, I can't remember which one she's in, but she's also gone back into acting and been called for auditions for more, which is just simply amazing. These are the fit doctors, I call them. So I met these guys. They came down to London for a TED talk, and they were struggling. They were trying to lose their health and get in shape because they do this big campaign, a drive that happens from Florida to New York every year called Drive for Men's Health. And they meet their clients along the way, driving this electric Tesla, and they tell the clients along the way what to talk about health. Yet they didn't look the piece. And somebody who knows them, and a mutual friend of mine, said, when you go to London for this TED talk, you got to find this guy called the FITBANKER. And she just saw me on Facebook, and she's a very, very old friend of mine. Like, we haven't met for 20 something years. And they come here, they reach out to me, and we go for dinner. And one dinner, because they understand the science as a doctor, I told them all they were doing wrong, and I told them what we do that works. They started it within 2 weeks. They were getting massive results. They signed up to the challenge last year, and by June 2016, that was what they looked like. So now they're finally ready for their next drive, and they really look the piece. The guy on the left lost 53 pounds. The other guy on the right lost 30 something pounds, and they're both partners. They're doctors in a practice they run in the US. This is Rebecca. She's now lost 17 kilos. She's vegan, and many people join and say, "Oh, I want to do this, but I'm vegan or I'm vegetarian." Or I say, "So am I. I'm lacto-vegetarian, so I'm vegan plus just milk." And this is Rebecca, who entirely vegan, was able to lose 35 pounds. This is another guy in South Africa. He met us at an exhibition there. He lost 17 kilos. So loads of results. But what I'm most focused on and interested in about people is that we impact health, because it's really what is a global problem. And we found a way that through simple education, we can transform. So 3 of the phenomenal health stories. This is one, Manisha from the US. She had a baby, her 3rd baby, and during pregnancy, she formed gestational diabetes, which can happen to a lot of mums. And after that, she was now pre-diabetic, and her last visit, her doctor told her, "You possibly won't be around. You're possibly going to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes at your next visit. If it stays the same status, then you'll be formally diagnosed as type 2 diabetic, and you possibly won't be around for your last kid's 10th birthday with the amount of sugar you have at this rate." And she called me basically crying, and she said, "I'd love to do it, but I can't afford it. I have to pay for a lot of medication, this, that, the other." I said, "What if we could cut off the cost of your medication by the saving you would make?" And she laughed, and she obviously would think I would say that anyway. Anyway, she took the punt. She did what she did to find 200 bob or 300 bob, whatever it was, when she signed up. And she signs up to the program. And within her first month, basically, she started a few weeks before a challenge start date. So by day 10, she had an next review, and the doctors had to test her twice. She was totally clear of pre-diabetic. She was no longer that. At the end of it, she lost, I think, 14, 15 kilos, and she is just amazingly healthy. Another shift for her was the eczema disappeared, and she was breastfeeding, and a baby had eczema. And as a result, the baby also cleared his eczema. This is another. At the time, mum and mum-to-be, she had a girl, and they were trying for a second child, and they were struggling, and they decided to go for the IVF route. And through IVF, they weren't allowed to even start because she was too overweight. She spent a year trying every lotion, potion, pill, and fad diet, and she only lost about 3 kilos. She signs up to a program, and by week 10, she was 10 point something kilos lighter. She was approved to start IVF. At the end of a program, she had lost 12.8 kilos, and now she's the mum of 5-month-old twins. This was last January started. By March, April, she had started an IVF process or something, and now she's got 5-month-old babies, which is just phenomenal and something we're really moved by. And this is my old man, 70 years old. Some people say I'm too old for this, or it's too intense, your workouts. I can't do that. And I say, well, do you think this old man can do it? Because all he did, the exercise you have to do for weight loss is as basic as walking. You can see his belly is sagging and basically overflowing. And now you can see what he's reduced by. Not only that, he's reduced from 90 kg, which is the image on the left, and he's come down to 90 kg when he started, and he's now come down to 70.8 as at last week. So he over 90 days he lost about 16 kilos, and since then he's been losing about a kilo every quarter. So very sustainable. What's most important is he's off his cholesterol statin medication, he's off his high BP medication, and he no longer needs that. And he's 10 times more energetic. He's able to go for walks and distances that he never previously could walk. And he's someone that I want to join. He's now 72, and I would love for him to join us on Kilimanjaro. So my conversation with him is still ongoing, but I think it would be a real phenomenal creation for him if we could do that. So that's a bit about us and what we cause. So what is the FitBanker Challenge? How does it work? What do we do? Well, we're basically an education system. We are providing education. We do it online, and it's experiential education. This is not about theory. If it's theory, we would have typed everything out and you can go to our website, download it, and you get in your email, and it will probably stay in your email for a very long time. So what we want you to do is you sign up. You will get 1 or 2 emails to read, just of what you need to set up and order, what next. What we're not is, and then you have weekly webinars. We have 10 webinars over the course of 90 days. That's where you get to come on, ask questions. You understand what you need to do for that week, what you need to learn for that week. Right at the start of your program, just before day one, you will be given a list of foods to avoid. You will be given a list of habits to start on a daily basis. So 3 core habits you'll be told to take on from the week 1. And then what we're not is, we're not a gym. We're not offering personal training or nutritional advice, even though I'm a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and I prepare the meal plan ideas. And these are tailored. They're not customized, but they're tailored to your age, gender, and meal requirements. So based on that, we've developed a number of categories or classes of meal plan ideas. We do have within our campus, so where all the everyone, the former participants are, there are other personal trainers, there are nutritionists, there are naturopaths, there are 8 medical doctors who've done the program. We've got nurses on there who've done the program. We've got midwives. Emma's a midwife for 25 years. And it's just an amazing group of people and a community that have been through this and ready to support you. So anything you're unclear around exercise or nutrition or allergies is something that you need to take ownership of. Put your safety first, and make sure you're checking anything with a medical professional that is a medical issue. So that's not what we're offering. Over the program, as mentioned, how does it work? How do we do it? Was your question, Kira? Is we work on what I call 4 main muscle groups. Most people think about their physical muscles, but we effectively need to work on 4 other big groups called our spiritual muscle. So getting connected to our purpose, our why, like why are we doing this? Why does it matter? Our mental muscle, which is understand the technical content that we provide, understand what calories are, understand what we mean by creating a calorie deficit, understand what macros are, understand how to get a macro split, which is X percentage of protein in a day, X percent of carbs, X percent of fats. How do you get that? So we coach you on all that. We give you the tools. We give you charts to use. We give you goal trackers. We ask you to monitor fat percentage. All that stuff you will be coached on the mentally, the maths side of it, the science side of it. And then emotionally, most of us have a particular body, a certain way, right? Not because of our body. Our body is just a balance sheet. It's a byproduct. What was for me was self-esteem. A lot of people think people that are overweight don't have great self-esteem, and I say it's the other way. It's that we don't have self-esteem, or we don't have self-worth or love for ourselves, that we allow our body to be a certain way. So what we do to our body is, and I love this quote, is what gets most in the way of people's success. They give up what they want most for what they want now. So they will please the body with short-term pleasure, which is, I'm going to drink this now, I'm going to eat this chocolate now, I'm going to please the tongue. So the tongue is 3 inches or 3.5 inches, and to please that, we will punish the rest of the body just for the tongue. So we coach you on understanding functional eating. We alter your relationship to food. Many people have a relationship to food based on cost, based on taste, based on memories, based on associations. So we do a number of exercises over the program, and we rewire your relationship to food to one which is actually what is inside this food plays a role inside of my body. And that role is, it will either go into storage as fat. Do I want that? Then you make a choice. Or this food contains something that will contribute to building my muscle. Do I want that instead? Or this food is something that will give me a lot of energy and it won't cause a lot of storage. So do I want that? And then you choose that. And so people find that they easily lose weight, they easily increase their energy, and they basically become a kid again. They easily increase their strength, and they're able to go to new barriers. And there's obviously the physical muscle that we work on. So what really works is, if you come on to do our challenge, we tell people, we really don't force people, but we say, try our program for 90 days. And what I mean by that is not just sign up. I mean, do it by design. You've seen people ahead of you get the results, so trust the system. Like people from 15 countries, as young as 16-year-old and as old as 70, have done the program from 15 countries, and they've caused phenomenal results like we've just shown you. Trust the system, Do it by design. If you have queries, ask. We are always available. I'm on call. My number will be available. You connected to me on Facebook. You can ask on campus, and there is a world of people looking to say, guys, why can't you see how easy this is? The people that have done the program, and they will be there to support you. The second one is declaration and sharing. So part of developing our emotional muscle is we hold on to our body a particular way because we are not willing to give up people's perception or judgment of us. I'll explain what we mean by that. We have to declare something, which is, I am here to transform my health, not or my body, right? And you state your greater why. So you post your before photo. By posting it is very confronting for some people. It was confronting for me because immediately I was going to post it. I said, what will my friends at Landmark think? What will my former colleagues at JP Morgan think? What am I doing with my shirt off? I'm just killing my reputation and my brand. I had all these stories to put me back into my comfort zone, which was absolutely porkies. It was what was keeping me there. And by putting it out there, I had to just show up every day because I didn't want after 90 days to be showing the same photo. So you declare what you're up to and you share it. The reason we have this picture of Obama is he said that, yes, we can. And 8 years later, just beginning of this year, he gave his last speech and he said, yes, we did, which is exactly starts from first you put it into word or you declare it out there publicly, and then you say you did it, right? Another great one is Muhammad Ali. He always said, I am the greatest, and I said that even before I knew I was. So he coined it in word, and then he went to fill that gap. So there's a bit of spiritual or emotional woo-woo-ness here, but we invite you to consider that it comes from a simple conviction and commitment that you're declaring that you're doing, and your actions will follow what you declare out there. Third one is community and support. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. But what I say in today's day and age, you're actually, this is a quote by Jim Rohn, and very true. You are the average of the 5 social media networks you hang out on. Because a lot of us now, that's where we're hanging out. We don't have people so much come over at home as much as we interact with them on social media. We see what people are up to in their lives more on social media than we do in person. So if that's the case, how can we use social media positively? Social media is a distraction for many. Social media is a place where a lot of people moan and complain and cry and seek attention. But we're saying let's use it positively. Let's use it to empower each other. Let's use it to inspire others to take on health and well-being. And that's what FITBANKERs do. They inspire others. That's why they share. They're not doing it to say, look at me. They're doing it because they saw someone that pulled them up onto the ladder. And you're now in a community of 200 people, not just 5, but 200 people, and a good number of them who are regularly sharing what they're eating, what activity they're doing, and so on. That keeps them active. So that's who you are, and that's you will get to be around and be the average of that or better, right? So you set the bar, and your community begins to shift. I haven't lost my old friends, but a lot of my old hangout group would be going out for drinks. Yesterday I went to Oaxaca, and it was probably my first time going to Oaxaca and not having alcohol. Maybe second time. But, I used to love that Mexican place, and I would always go there and I'm having a big burrito or something. And yesterday I could go and have a salad, which is just awesome, right? So it really shifts. So we can still go to the places, we can still hang out with our people, but when we've transformed, then it's a new being that shows up. The fourth one, this is something everyone knows about every area of life, right? If you want to cause something, write it down. Plan on what you will do for that week. What we say is make it very simple. Don't make a complex plan. Simply say on Sunday, this week I'm going 4 days to the gym. And the days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. On Monday, I've got my body pump class at 9 a.m. Put that in your diary. So most people don't have time because they are using their time for other stuff, right? And it just is a allocation of priorities. So for some people, they'll say their job is more important, so they have to do 2 more hours at work than working effectively and doing an hour of gym, an hour and a half of gym. But if you put it in your diary, then you know you have to leave place A to be at place B by a certain time. So diarize things, lock in and give your word to the days you will do, lock in and give your word to what times you will go for your walks, because you have to do a minimum amount of walking. on the program, and it's as little as 40 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be all at once, right? It can be 4 times across the day of 10 minutes each, but as little as 40. And we'll talk about that when you sign up to the program. And if there are any questions, you can also ask us at the end, or message us. And the fifth one is accountability. What really baffled me when I got this realization was in the area of finance, I was submitting my tax return. It was January. I was doing my electronic return. It was January 31st, which is the last day to do it. And I'm always doing it on the last day. And I'm here literally pulling out every old email, invoices, everything I need to tell HMRC exactly how much I earned in the year, how much I spent, and therefore this is how much I should pay in tax. And I was like, why do we do this to these guys, HMRC? We bloody hate the tax man, but we will always be accountable to them. We'll always show up. We'll always tell them how much we owe them. But we do that for our finances and tax, but we don't do that for our body. Like, we don't have any sense of how much we put in our body, how much we spend out. So we use a number of apps, but two of the ones we use are Runkeeper and MyFitnessPal. And Runkeeper is an app where you can record the activity you do outdoors. So if you're watching this and you've already signed up to the program, I know some of you have registered have already signed up to May, so you're joining to get warmed up and familiar with what will be in the program. I invite you to download these two apps. On both of these apps, and even if you're not on the challenge, feel free to do this. You can search for me and add me as a friend under the name FITBANKER. You need to update your settings. So if you take a screenshot of this, this might help you. You want to set your current weight, your target weight, and you want to set your weight loss goal to lose 1 kg a week if you are doing weight loss. If you are maintaining your weight, still put lose 0.5. And if you're somebody that's on because you actually want to increase your weight, then you basically want to put gain 0.5 kilos a week. Your macros, there's also a section under goal settings called macro settings, and change that one to 30% protein, 30% fat, and 40% carbs. It defaults to 20, 30, 50, but we want you to do that 30, 30, 40. So if you could update that, we will then explain through the course of the program, and we will create meal ideas to be able to allow you to get to it, because that's a very not easy percentage to get to healthily in a day. And we will also, for us to see and review what you've been consuming over your challenge. Every time you have 5 days cumulative and you want us to review, you can tell us. But for that, you need to share your food diary. So you go to settings, diary settings, sharing, and make it public. Okay, so that's a bit about the 5 things and these habits of regularly doing them: the accountability, your community, trusting the system, declaring. This is all the 5 key traits that happen. There's about 7 or 8 other traits habits that we incorporate over the program, and ultimately, our game is this. This is a picture from Tough Mudder, and this is a game called Pyramid Scheme. And what Pyramid Scheme is I think, to me, the best analogy out there of leadership. Because what happens is you have those girls at the bottom. If you look at this image and you ask who are the leaders, it's you see the girls at the bottom go down there and they lift somebody up on their shoulders, and those people on their shoulders squeeze them and put the pressure on them, but they allow that person to lift other people above them. And when people finally get to the top, they experience what it is being at the top, and they bend over, they reach down, they hang themselves off the edge to be able to lift you up, right? And that, to me, is leadership. And our commitment ultimately is about developing leaders. So, Emma has joined us because she's been moved by what she's caused. She blindly, randomly scribbled in a pad last year, January, her New Year's resolution this year to lose 20 kg with zero idea how she would know that. She didn't know a FitBanker. She didn't know us. She never met us. One of our participants pulled her like this and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about FitBanker." She signed up within a day or two. Next thing is she lost 15 kilos in 90 days. And by end of the year, we were at our year-end FitBanker retreat in Valencia. And suddenly while there, she looks at the notes that she wrote for New Year's resolutions, and she wrote lose 20 kg, and voila, it was true by end of the year. And she's really moved by that, and she's come on predominantly as a volunteer, but she's a key team member. And as we grow, she's somebody that I want to be a very pivotal part of the business, because just who she is as a being is phenomenal in empowering participants. And we'd love to. We're just grateful to have her to be able to empower others. So that's our game, to develop leaders. And so whether you want to join our program, whether you take this on yourself, whether you want to create your own community, my invite to every being out there is to simply be the change you wish to see in the world. That's what we had for you today. Are there any questions, Kira? Kira, you there? Okay. All right. Okay. So I just got a message from Kira. Got to go now. Thank you. All right. Perfect. Sorry, I did acknowledge we've gone over time. And so just for this challenge, we have the full price is 600. Those of you that might be watching on recording, you know somebody out there, you could join for 209. That ends tomorrow. So the price is already 209 online at fitbanker.com go. So please do go there if you would like to. And thanks all for being on. Have an awesome Saturday and awesome weekend ahead. All right. Bye, guys. Have an awesome day. See ya.